I'm going to show you a bunch of fingerstyle patterns in 4/4 time from the back of my Rhythm Guitar Book 2. After 80 pages of songs and exercises, there's a reference section in the back with all of the chords, strumming, and fingerstyle patterns from the book, plus several more. Now, you don't need Rhythm Guitar 2 for this video, but I'm not going to complain if you order a copy, so I'll leave a link for Rhythm Guitar 2 in the description. I'm not going to go over all these patterns in detail. We're going to more just blast through them, but I will talk and explain as we go. The point here is just to show you a whole bunch of fingerstyle patterns, and you pick and choose what you like. Let's talk about some finger labels before we get into these patterns. You're going to see a lot of PIMA, P-I-M-A. P stands for your thumb. I stands for your first finger. M stands for your second finger. And A stands for your third finger. Now, your first finger, or I, is always going to play the third string. At least in these patterns, it never strays from the third string. That's where it stays. M is always going to be playing the second string, and then A, or your third finger, is always going to be playing the first string. So each finger on its own string. Now, your thumb, or P, is going to move around depending on what the bass note is. If it's a 6-string chord, like an E minor, your thumb is going to play the 6th string. If it's a 5-string chord, like an A minor, then your thumb will be on the 5th string. And if it's a D chord, something with 4 strings, then your thumb is going to be playing the 4th string. So fingers each on their own strings all the time, your thumb moves around. Now, this first pattern is simply P-I-M-A. So thumb 1, 2, 3, and it's all quarter notes. So it's counted 1, 2, 3, 4. Number C27 is the same as number C26, except for playing double speed. In C26, we were playing all quarter notes, counting 1, 2, 3, 4. C27 is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So your thumb is always hitting on beats 1 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Number C28 is the same as C27, except we're playing alternating bass notes. So my thumb is playing the regular bass note on beat 1, and some other bass note on beat 3. You always want to start with your main bass note, and then if you have time, play your other bass note. I have an entire video on alternating bass notes. If you want to get into that a little bit more, I'll leave a link for that video in the description. Number C29, I'm going to switch to A minor just for variety. Now it's P-A-M-I. Or thumb, then finger 3, finger 2, finger 1. And notice, since I'm on an A minor, my thumb is on the 5th string because it's a 5-string chord. And this is all quarter notes, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Number C30, same as C29, except we're playing double speed. C29, we were playing quarter notes, 1, 2, 3, 4. Number C30, we're playing 8th notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Number C31 is the same as C30, except we're adding an alternate bass note in there. Again, you want to make sure you play your regular bass note on beat 1 and your other bass note on beat 3. Number C32, I'm switching to D7 now just for a variety. This is P, M, I, A. So thumb, 2, 1, 3. And this is a D7, a 4-string chord, so my thumb is on the 4th string. All quarter notes, so it's just 1, 2, 3, 4. Number C33 is the same as C32, except we're double speed. Instead of playing 1, 2, 3, 4, now it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. With your thumb hitting on 1 and 3. And then C34, same as C33, except we're playing alternate bass notes. Main bass note on beat 1, and your alternate on beat 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Number C35, I'm going to go back to E minor. This one involves some double stops, and a double stop means you're just playing 2 strings at the same time. In this case, when we're back to quarter notes, we're going. So beat 1 is your thumb, or your bass note. Beat 2 is I, or your first finger. Beat 3 is M and A at the same time. 1, 2, 3, and then beat 4 is back to your first finger. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number C36 is the same as C35. We have some double stops, but this time we're playing double speed. C35, we were playing quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So your thumb is hitting on beats 1 and 3, and your double stop, your M and A fingers are on 2 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Number C37 is the same as C36, except we're adding alternate bass notes. So your main bass note is on beat 1, and your alternate bass note is on beat 3. Number C38, I'm switching to a G chord now. This is. So beat 1 is your thumb, and beats 2, 3, and 4 are your 3 fingers together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is very similar to maybe a strumming pattern like bass, strum, 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 except you're plucking where you would normally strum. In C39, we're also playing a bass note and then plucking all the other strings. We're just going back and forth. Bass, your other fingers. Bass, your other fingers. Again, very similar to a bass strum pattern, except for plucking instead of strumming. Number C40, same as C39, adding alternate bass notes. So as with the other patterns, your main bass note is on beat 1, 1, 2, and your alternate bass note is on beat 3, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Number C41, we're going to switch to E major this time instead of E minor. This is a combination of the PIMA and PAMI patterns, P-I-M-A and then P-A-M-I. So this is P-I-M-A, P-A-M-I, and this is eighth note. So we're counting 1 and 2 and 3 and the first half of the measure, your 1 and 2 and, it's your PIMA, 1 and 2 and then the second half of the measure, the 3 and 4 and, it's your PAMI. Put them all together. And C42 is the same as C41 with alternate bass notes. So your main bass note on beat 1, P-I-M-A, alternate bass note on beat 3, P-A-M-I. So try out some of these patterns and check out the alternating bass video. And if you're looking for a systematic approach to chord strumming and fingerstyle patterns, check out my Rhythm Guitar Book 2. I'll leave links for videos and books in the description.